I was one of those guys that was like, I'm going to lock in. I'm going to lock in this winter. I'm going to go monk mode. I'm going to shave my head, go extreme. And every time I would do that, every time I would make a promise to myself, I would always fail. Every single time I would fail. Maybe not immediately, maybe it might take sometimes a couple months I'd be consistent, but then I'd always fail and relapse on all my habits. And usually the longer I was consistent with my goals, the longer it is that I would relapse on all my bad habits and, just completely fall off and live totally counter to how I want to live. Binging on YouTube, watching porn, all that stuff. It wasn't until recently, fairly recently, where I realized this one concept that I didn't really understand, that if you don't know, you won't achieve your goals. You won't ever lose weight. You won't ever achieve your dream physique. You won't ever make money online, start your business. And the concept is progressive overload. That's the concept. And I'm not talking about progressive overload in the gym, though it applies, right? I'm talking about progressive overload in all areas of your life. Now, I listened to a YouTuber. His name is Hamza, and he actually gave really good advice, and he basically gave the same advice that I'm giving now. But I'm going to go a step farther and say that, in that advice that he gave was how to get out of a rut. And I'm going to say, if you don't treat progressive overload, which basically, I'm going to give you the definition of what I mean by that. You have to take baby steps. Small steps. Write down, if you struggle with being consistent in your goals, write down the absolute bare minimum that it wouldn't even be a struggle to do. Okay? Like a habit tracker. Just write down habits. If you struggle with going to the gym, maybe you need to start out with just showing up to the gym and doing like a single push-up, and be okay with doing that. Now, people may think, well, what do you mean? I'm not going to get jacked doing that. You're not. But the thing that's taken me so long to understand is that you first need to learn, you first need to practice being consistent in your goals. And by the way, sorry if you hear background noise, I'm in a park, whatever. But you first need to practice being consistent in your goals. Then you can up the weight in the gym, right? But the most important thing is showing up at the gym. If you are so nervous about, if you psych yourself out and you wear yourself out because you're biting off more than you can chew, then you're just not even going to, eventually you're going to not show up at the gym ever. And regardless of how tough you may think you are, you have to make going to the gym easy. Then you can up the weight over time to the point where you're training really, really hard, but mentally you've acclimated to that point, right? That's how you have to treat all areas of your life. That's how you have to treat your health. That's how you have to treat business. If you're not consistent in your business, in the work that you're actually doing, spend 45 minutes a day working. Like, seriously, spend 45 minutes a day working. And then once you're comfortable with that, then spend 50 minutes a day. Then an hour. Slowly increase the weight. Slowly increase the intensity over time. And when you do that, as you do that, being consistent becomes easy. Being consistent becomes easy. Making progress becomes easy. Okay? Because you can always do more. You can always do more. But if you do too much, you're going to burn yourself out psychologically. And I don't care how tough you may think you are, or I'm better than everybody else. I'm just going to go David Goggins and I'm going to go extreme. Trust me, you're not that guy. That's not how the human brain works. It's not. I thought it was. It's not. It really isn't. Be consistent, and you will lap everybody in your goals. I guarantee you. You know, even if you're, regardless of what your goals are, you will accomplish them if you just focus on being consistent. That is it. Okay? Like, that is it. Please focus on being consistent. Don't focus on the long term, not the short term progress. The long term progress and the consistency. If you do that, you will accomplish your goals. I guarantee you, unless you're like mentally handicapped or whatever, as long as you're consistent and slowly making progress, you're gonna lap everybody that makes a lot of progress within like 6 weeks and then burns themselves out. Again, you can always up the weight, you can always do more, but you have to focus on being consistent.